Guys, this is not your mama's banana bread. We're gonna pair with a beautiful banana pastry cream, some caramelized bananas, a little bit of crushed walnuts, and some nectarine ice cream that I made back in my peach and nectarine tart video. Be sure to check that out if you wanna learn how to make that. So we got a lot to do. So as always, let's go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start by browning our butter. Weigh out 100 grams. So we'll just weigh out 100 grams of our brown butter. Just go ahead and pop this in the fridge or the freezer and just let it solidify. You don't want to get it too cold. We're just solidifying it just a little bit because it's going to incorporate better with the bananas and the flour and all the rest of the ingredients for our banana bread. All right, guys, next we're going to toast off 100 grams of walnuts. You can use pecans for this if you like, but walnuts, bananas go perfect together. We'll go ahead and toast these off until they're nice and golden brown, about 8 minutes at 350. So first thing we want to do is just take our bananas, just kind of mash them down a little bit. We just want these to incorporate with the rest of our ingredients. All right, and to our mixer, we want to go ahead and add in all of our wet ingredients. We have our brown butter here, 100 grams. See how it's just fairly solidified? You don't want this frozen or cold. You want everything to incorporate into the mix as easily as possible. All right, let's get this going on low. Next, we want to add our egg, or 50 grams vanilla extract. All right, next, guys, we're going to go in with our yogurt. And then we'll also add our milk. Next, we'll go in with our brown sugar. All right, so we got our brown sugar in there, cinnamon, baking powder, baking soda, and our flour. And then we want to just mix this just until it's incorporated. Make sure you're not mixing it on high. You don't want to develop too much gluten in here. And then we'll scrape down the sides. Go ahead and add our nuts at this time. Make sure everything's incorporated from the sides. All right, banana bread is done. Well, almost. We gotta bake it. All right, guys, I'm gonna use these silicone molds. Feel free to use whatever you like. I just wanted to do this for the video. Super individual size, make them look really cool, but you can also use a loaf pan as well. Just keep that in mind. All right, you wanna make sure after you fill these up that you smack them down. Banana bread ready to go. We'll pop this in a 356 degree oven or 180 degrees Celsius. And then we'll go ahead and check it depending on what you bake it in. If you bake it in a loaf pan, it's probably gonna take about an hour. I'm gonna check in about 20 minutes or so for these because they're a lot more individual size. So it's definitely not gonna take an hour. We'll take a toothpick as usual, plop it in there. And if it comes out clean, it's ready to go. So I'm gonna give these about 20 minutes and then we'll check them after that. Make sure you're placing your racks and the banana breads in the middle of your oven for baking because you definitely don't want them on the top or the bottom. This will ensure even baking. All right, guys, so we got our beautiful banana bread out. As you can see, they come out nice and just fluffy, and inside is so moist and warm and delicious. What you want to do now is just let these cool down for about maybe 25-35 minutes. Then we'll dip them in our lemon icing, get everything cooled down. I'll go ahead and show you how to plate these up. All right, let's make a quick lemon sugar glaze. We want to just weigh out about 80 to 100 grams of lemon juice and then whisk it up with about 230 grams of powdered sugar. All right, so now we got our lemon icing. When our banana bread cools down, we'll just dip each of the breads into this. Let them sit and dry out. You can keep your breads just like this or continue on to the next step. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start our banana pastry cream to go on top of our beautiful banana bread. So we'll just start out with our milk here. And we just want to bring this up just until it almost boils. All right, while that's heating up, we want to take just a banana, preferably overripe, but whatever you have is fine. And then we'll just take a hand blender and just blend it into a puree. We're gonna want to incorporate this to our pastry cream at the very end, so you want it to be relatively smooth. All right, so we got our banana puree. To our banana, add your lemon juice to the banana to keep it from oxidizing. While that's heating up, we'll take our egg yolks and our sugar. And then we'll add in our cornstarch. Just want to whisk these until they're nice and light and fluffy. Just like that. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna temper the milk with the egg yolks, just so that these don't scramble. You wanna make sure that you do not stop whisking when you add the hot milk to the eggs. You definitely wanna watch out for anything. You don't want anything to scramble on you. Going with another ladle. We'll put that back in with our milk mixture. And it'll thicken up on you pretty quick, so definitely do not walk away from this. Nice and thick. So once you see it start sputtering like that, you want to just keep whisking for like 1 more minute. Maybe turn it down just a little bit so it doesn't go crazy on you. What that's going to do is that's going to activate the cornstarch so it actually thickens up on you. So we're going to go ahead and take that off the heat. All right, and with this off the heat, I want to go with a nice pinch of salt, 30 grams of cold butter. And then lastly, we got our banana puree with our lemon juice, just to give it some added banana flavor. Into a bowl, and then we'll go ahead and just put a plastic wrap right on the top of this just to keep any skin that wants to form. All right, guys, go ahead and let this set up in your fridge for at least 3 to 6 hours, preferably overnight. I'm gonna speed it up by just putting it in an ice bath to cool it down super quick so I can finish this video. All right, and for our plating, I just went ahead and took a banana, sliced it in half, and then sliced it lengthwise in thin slices, topped it with a little bit of sugar, and blowtorched it. Beautiful brûléed banana. All right, then lastly, I just took some crumbled walnuts, topped it with our nectarine ice cream that I used back in my peach and crostata video. All right, guys, what can I say? I'm super pleased with the dish. I wish that the pastry cream came out a little bit more sturdy. I think because I tried to just rush it for the video, if I would have let it set overnight, which I told you guys to do, it probably would set up a little bit more sturdy. As you can see, it kind of melted down the sides, but that's okay. The flavor's still there. Trust me, it's absolutely delicious. Oh, the caramelized banana. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week.